is my top priority. I mean, I could never cut police officers to benefit another department. It's not me.
So I take it we have currently, we don't have a majority.
Yeah, I would say.
Changing the insurance copay.
I think I should stay out of this one.
Okay, then please do.
If this could come about, I would certainly be in favor of it, but we have to remember, this has to be passed by.
I know, but, you know,
75%.
if we're talking about
No,
sharing,
I agree.
across the board, trying to
Right.
deal with this issue of filling a gap, this is one where.
Oh, and I agree with you.
I think it's very fair to ask our town employees
If
to
in fact, we can get the employees to
Couple
agree.
of things.
change the copay.
I don't like the idea because it's kinda, I don't like I'm not thrilled about the idea because what you're saying is that you're saying is we budget it, and then if it doesn't happen, then what we do is we make up the 300,000 by laying people off.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. So we're really holding their feet to the fire saying, you people have to vote for this, because if you don't, we're gonna lay you off, okay? So if we do that, all right, which I'm not that thrilled about it. Especially I'm not that thrilled about it when we get $531,000 we could put. But if we do this, right, I would say that you'd have to say that the $300,000, the cuts, because of this lack of copay, would have to go across the board. Not just to the town employees, it'd have to go across the
No,
board.
absolutely. It goes across the board.
No, I'm saying the layoffs when they happen if they don't approve the $300,000 copay. You know what I'm saying? You're saying budget it, right? And then if it doesn't happen, if they don't agree to it, the unions don't agree to it, we would then cut positions.
Well, theoretically, the school department unions control the majority
They
of the
control
vote.
65%,
And you need 70% to get it passed.
and you need 70%.
Right.
But I mean, either way, if you don't get the
I don't have a
300,000,
problem with that, if it doesn't go, because the town employees,
who gets cut if the 300,000 doesn't go?
The time has come, we can't no longer afford the increase in our health insurance on an annual basis.
My
We've
question
gotta
is, who
make
gets
some
cut?
changes. Every private sector company has dealt with this issue,
I agree.
right?
So who gets
the
cut?
public sector ones have too.
What?
The public
And
sector.
some, yes, right, Steve knows that very well.
Well, who gets laid off if the unions don't agree to the $300,000
Well,
copay?
we have to make some decisions on that in advance too.
I think I'd like to know that. before
Yeah, I would
say
too.
it.
I'd like to know that
Now,
before I
have to
agree
come
to it.
back.
I agree with you, Bill.
The proffer outside the years of the meeting. If you were to go through with it, you would have my blessing, even though I can't vote on it. So.
All right,
So,
is that a why or,
Well, no, we're gonna need some more, I agree with Phil, Bob. I would like to know from the town administrator and the school what positions would be cut if in fact this does not go through.
all right? But here we are, trying to fill a gap so that we don't cut any further into the school department,
I understand that.
okay?
I understand it.
It may not be the same priority with the members of the local.
I will tell you, I don't think this is gonna sell with the unions. I will say that.
But
You know?
I think there's a lot of empathy out there, from what I understand, in discussions about the GIC. There's some interest in looking
I
at
think
it,
it's gonna go.
recognizing that
I do.
something has to be done.
Mr. Belka.
Why?
The GIC becomes effective 7/1/09.
Yeah.
So this would be prior to beginning discussions on the option of the GIC. I would think that it would create a chilling effect on our ability to reach a agreement on the GIC to do something like this right now. I think it would cast a pall over negotiations that we haven't even begun yet on acceptance of the GIC. And I would suggest to you that the amount of savings that we can see from the GIC potentially a year from now is more significant than the $300,000 we complicated. But I think it does put us behind the eight ball, if it's something that we're agree to. Potentially, everything may be okay, but it's just a caution that I have.
Well, then,
Well, that's $525,000 that you have to come up with some other suggestions.
right, that's what I was gonna say, then I think we,
I've got 531,000.
I was hoping that was gonna augment.
You asked,
I was hoping
can I
that-
keep the
No,
other
hold it.
6,000?
You
I was
don't.
hoping that if that was
You
going to
don't.
go through, that it would supplement that and we'd ask for a smaller override. But, you know, if we're gonna be in the short end of the vote, that's what I'd like to see.
I
vote.
mean, what
So
I'm
it's
hearing,
looking at the-
what I'm hearing here, okay, and this is a real concern, and although I agree that we give Greg a chance to go back and look,
Big amendment.
is that we're not getting to just the status quo. And we're not filling the current deficit because we don't have the, I don't wanna use the
The
word,
wherewithal.
but the wherewithal, or the will, I should say,
Well, again, I don't think
to
the
do
menu
what
is- I don't
would
think
be
the-
required.
I don't think the menu is long enough yet.
That may
For
be,
us-
okay.
For us to come back to the conclusion that maybe of these four,
Mhm.
that might be the
Okay,
choice we have.
that's fair.
I think that that's why I said I would like to see a longer menu to choose from as to what the direct effects are going to be for the cuts.
I
federal
see
government
it.
cuts.
David, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess the concern, Annie, is that if based on what you're recommending, your recommendation, obviously, cuts in, co-pays and so forth, that the town employees, could vote to, pay more money so that this works. However, the fees has brought up the fact that both, the employees have to vote because of the union. And 70%. And unfortunately, school teachers make up 70+%. So,
No, they don't quite make 70%.
okay, then I stand correct. So I'm coming into the meeting, I thought they were 70, more than 70%.
No.
My concern was that you can imagine that one group votes to accept it, but the other group doesn't have a strong number to vote against it, knowing that there's no cuts to them, it would all come back to employees being cut downside, and I obviously professionally have a little problem.
That's why I said.
I don't disagree with the concern that was expressed by Phil and Joe in relation to if that 350,000 were in the equation, that possibly some of those cuts, and I would expect that some of those cuts would be in the school department side, only because the bulk of them, vast majority of the employees that are needed to get this passed are on that side of the equation, so.
There should be encouragement on both sides, obviously, to support the effort here.
On the other hand, Greg does make a point that, this could make it more difficult to get the ultimate goal of getting GIC accepted in the current, in the following fiscal year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Hi, Pat Fillmore, 24 Field Crest Terrace. And I just, probably a stupid question, and I'm probably lost in this whole thing. I see two prices for recreation. One, $100,000, make fully fee-based. Recreation is gonna be paid for,
It's actually 150. The
but
town
that's what I'm saying.
administrators
But
was-
that's the other, now you're saying
yeah.
about eliminating a position. So
No,
now
it doesn't, no, we weren't talking about eliminating a position in
or
recreation.
having 100%.
The town, if we start with the town administrator's recommendation, he was gonna take one position, the position of the person that does the scheduling and planning evidently, and move that to fee-based. That was for the 47,000.
Recreation, so that's being taken up by the fees for the recreation.
Right.
But now it's being
Additionally,
up
I was proposing
$100,000.
to take the balance of what we currently pay out of our revenue stream and move that to fee-based too.
So what you'd probably be doing is increasing the fees for all these kids that are playing.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yes,
so,
understood.
in other words, instead of $70 for the kids, parents to pay for their kids to play soccer, they're gonna have to pay $125.
I think
for-
Rita
So, but I'm
had some
saying,
numbers.
I don't, my question is, I really don't think, you're just hitting these young kids, these families even harder. I mean, it's like, $125 for an 8-year-old, like, and that's
the
just,
additional fees for
They're using it.
teachers, I mean,
Well,
it's
you
just
know-
like the trash,
Yeah.
But that's why,
then we could talk about when
But
they
that's why we
have
voted no.
days, but I,
But we voted no.
but that's why the consensus was no.
Consensus
All right,
was
well, I
no.
wasn't hearing it.
Nope, it's okay.
The
The
consensus
consensus
is
on the
no.
100,000 was no. I mean, not on the 45 though.
Yeah, we're okay with the 45.
We're okay with the
not
45.
Okay,
Bob Griggs did it.
Jim, I
yes.
just wanted to update you, because I've been trying to keep track of what the size of this gap is for status quo.
Mhm.
And if you remove the 91,000 for the regional vocational school,
Mhm.
and you look at the status quo, the gap, based upon the TA proposals, is about $202,000.
That's correct.
And that's the amount.
What was that again?
202,000.
Yeah, because the gap is 900,000, 910. Actually, if you take the schools, 35,000.
910.
Right.
Is your additional $525,000 was above and beyond that, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
That number that I had proposed out was aimed at restoring some of the cuts from last year. That's good.
But the 91 might be real. We're gonna find that out. It might very well be real. I think the 150 was high the other year, and I think that this is kind of the backside, the fact that we overpaid in the previous year. But I'm not sure of that. Was Joe gonna say something?
Yeah, I got some more information later this afternoon, and that you might say it was 30,000,
Not 91?
not 91, be close to 30,000. But the final figures won't be out until March 17th.
Okay. Mike, you had something to contribute?
You ever considered going to maybe 30 hours instead of 35 hours, but non-essential employees and stuff?
Contractually, we have some issues that we have to do on that one, but there is possibility to do that. The easiest thing for us to implement is simply the job position. Obviously, that change beyond, but.
So, I think what Greg is saying is that we have a gap of, if we just took his proposals, of which, with the exception, well, I guess we voted favorably for all 4-1 on the solid waste, right? That we're $700,000+ against the 910, that we got a $200,000 gap for a status quo budget. And then beyond that, whatever, there's the 300+ thousand to get the first two line items of the school budget covered. So I think it is fair to ask Greg to take another look at some other options if we want a larger option list, and that come next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but a week from Wednesday at our meeting, we gotta make some final decisions, because we're going to press pretty soon.
Phil's proposal is actually a net, what, 380, roughly $380,000.
Right.
$380,000.
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah, I would take the non-exempt debt ceiling off the cap at that point.
When would we, but that goes a long way towards hitting the number, that added number. When would we hear about, any potential savings, immediate savings on healthcare? Are we gonna hear within the next?
We might hear
this
by
month?
next Wednesday,
I was hoping we would hear
We
by
wait, right?
today.
tonight, but, I think I've expressed that the dilemma is the fact that they need 6 months of claim history.
You
and
tell
then
me.
6 months is up at the end of January, and then the underwriting needs time to bring their quote together. I think that it's possible that that may be the way to bridge, most of that gap.
Yeah, I agree. I think that if we did the 531, and the savings on health insurance, okay, on the budget, on the bill that's coming in, together, that adjustment would bring us to the point where we could fund the status quo and restore the top two, the 3.5 fine arts teachers and the 4 PE teachers, okay, which the school committee has said they need to restore Wednesday. And eliminate the study.
I don't know, again, I'd like to see what kind of instructions are we giving the town administrator to go back with? Come up with a number with your proposal, for the initial 525, and see how far that takes us?